My father right there.
Oh, this is your father's
It's right here.
Richard Carter Jr. comes to Elmwood Cemetery about once a month to visit the grave of his father, the drug kingpin Maserati Rick, who ran a multi-million-dollar crack cocaine and heroin empire on Detroit's east side. Maserati Rick was known across the country for driving flashy cars, wearing the finest clothes, and the most expensive jewelry, even hanging out with celebrities. So it's ironic that he has such a plain-looking grave marker for a man who police say amassed millions of dollars. It's even more ironic when you consider that underneath this simple headstone is this, a $16,000 silver coffin built like a Mercedes-Benz, complete with spinning wheels.
Most people know your dad as one of Detroit's most notorious drug dealers.
Okay, yeah, that's one part, but it's another part. You know what I'm saying? How he did good deeds for everybody, you know what I'm saying? You can ask people in the city how he helped people open up their businesses and just giving out money to whoever if they needed it. So they ain't really cover that part of it, you know what I'm saying, his life.
The Maserati Rick in the headlines was infamous for running such a lucrative drug network and being the target of both local and federal authorities.
All this was in the Detroit Almanac.
So now Rick Jr. is on a crusade to tell what he calls a more complete story of not Maserati Rick, but Richard Carter Sr., husband, father, and humanitarian. He's kept dozens of articles and artifacts, even his father's glasses and other items. He says it makes him angry to read only about what the police and FBI thought of his dad. That's why Rick Jr. has teamed up with the filmmaker and producer to dig into what we did not read in the paper. The two started this project last year, chronicling Rick Sr.'s other impact on the community.
Maserati Rick's story is very, very interesting.
Flip Wilson has written, shot, and edited 8 documentaries, some about a world that few of us have seen, like prison, drug users, and gangs.
Yo, lock them up in the basement and tie them up, you know.
And now this, an inside look at one of Detroit's most powerful drug dealers.
We've been working on it for like 6 months now, and we found out so many things that are false about the stuff that the news, press, and the street guys are saying, and it's just becoming so intense to research his life.
What do you want people to know about your dad? What do you think is the biggest misconception of him?
He wasn't like how everybody was trying to say he was, you know what I'm saying? Everybody liked him, smiled a lot, everywhere he go he smiled, so, you know what I'm saying? He got along with everybody, he had friends everywhere.
Maserati Rick had a legendary life, but he also had a legendary death. He was murdered here on the 3rd floor of this hospital that's now Sinai Grace, but 20 years ago when it happened, it was Mount Carmel Hospital. He was recovering here in room 307 after having been shot by a drug rival. And then they came back on September 12th, 1988 to finish off the job. No one had ever been murdered inside that hospital, so security measures changed forever at the medical center on Detroit's west side.
This is my father and my mother.
The documentary will focus on things we did not know, like the fact that Maserati Rick wanted to be a boxer. So much so that there's a pair of boxing gloves on his tombstone.
To us, he's Maserati Rick, but to you, he's Dad. Are you proud of your father?
Yeah. Because it's like everything he did, he was trying to, do it for the family.
Because his dad, as everybody knows, was in the tabloids, Jet magazine. Everyone covered it in the 80s. So my main goal is to help him get some peace in the world to know the true Maserati Rick.
Rick Jr. and Flip hope to have the documentary done by his father's birthday, July 31st.
Why is it important for you to tell your father's story?
Who else gonna do it? Who else gonna do it? Nobody else gonna do it.
In Detroit, Charles Pugh, Fox 2 News.